Afternoon everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do a sort of a vlog type thing today of my garage refurbishment. So this is kind of where the workspace is at the moment. It's a tip because I've been working in and out of here for about 5 years and haven't really thrown away anything, so as you've seen in sort of previous videos, it is a little bit cluttered. Big blast cabinet there, engine, all sorts of spares for a 1950 Ford up there, which isn't even actually on the premises, but there's electrical parts, there's bumpers, there's all sorts, oils and fuel canisters and stuff. A workbench which is at the minute currently unusable, a big 3 horsepower compressor down there, gearboxes and whatnot, and old paint cans and general sort of bits and pieces, tools all racked up here. Really nice pinboard for hooking stuff on that I can't really use properly at the moment because the garage door clashes with it. And a really old rotten ladder. So aim of today is to push the car outside, clear everything up, get everything on the floor in the centre here, and then try and put together some new shelves. So I bought in a whole bunch of shelving units, which I do over there. Going to take down all of this, move the blast cabinet back, move that along, and fit in shelving cabinets all along here with boxes, so we can actually start to do something kind of more useful with the space, and maybe clear some space to have my welder not sitting behind the car, because I'm on my own today and I don't want to get bored, and my phone is currently my only filming device. I'm not going to be filming a lot of it because I want to listen to some tunes, otherwise it's going to get very dull. And so what I do is I'll stop every now and then and just kind of take you on a little tour of what I've done and how either successful or mega unsuccessful I've been, because I will end up making a massive mess because I've worked with myself before. Okay, so I have moved off a load of stuff. I've taken down the shelves that were there, and I've now fitted some 45mm deep, 1.8 metre tall 5 shelf units that will take 250 kilos a shelf. So that is hopefully going to be quite decent. Does block the door slightly, but the door opens outwards, so it's not a problem. Can still get to all of my sockets there. I've just cable tied them together for the minute. I will bracket them to the wall potentially, and now we've got to start getting down all of this so that I can then move that blast cabinet back up against the wall, shuffle everything down so that I can then replace that bit here with another sort of unit that's about, well, it's not quite as deep as this, but it's 60mm deep. Yeah, you know what I mean. Not quite as wide as this, but it's a little bit deeper, so it's going to give a little bit more space there. In fact, it's as deep as the workbench is, so that's going to be pretty tidy. Okay, so started loading up the shelves. They're not in their finished sort of iteration, but they do have all the heavy stuff down the bottom, so batteries and wheels, all of the stuff for the Y block and the shoebox Ford, stuff for the Fiats there, paint stuff, oils and whatnot, shoebox dashboard. I only realised how much medium there is in the blast cabinet when you try and empty it to move it. So the blast cabinet is now tucked in the corner. All these shelves are gone, and so what I need to do now is to shuffle along the main workbench and the compressor there, and then I can start the task of dismantling the rest of the setup over there, and maybe within a day or so I'll actually be able to move. That box is all rubbish that is going. Okay, so, well, we'll call it a day for today. As you can see, not finished there, but I have moved it all along. I just need to move the bench vise. And we have the larger of the shelves, I can get over here, installed, ready for whatever will fit in there. I'm going to keep that old board of pegs there to put my fabrication stuff, so hook on there my little panel clamps, because that looks like that will work quite well for there. It's been a bit of a day's work. It's dark outside, mind you, it's England in the winter, so what would you expect? And tomorrow all of this will find a permanent home, and then we'll see how easy or difficult it is to get this back in here. It's only little, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's just going to have to squeeze between here and there, but that should still then leave me a nice amount of workspace over the back. Okay, so the start of day 2 of the refurb project, and after the obligatory coffee, I've been and done a run to the tip and chucked out a load of old toot that came out of the garage yesterday, and so I am now sitting in the car park of the local mass market hardware store, and I'm looking to buy some storage boxes. So I've got a tape measure here so I can actually go in and double check the sizes that I need based off the varying heights of shelves and stuff that I put in there, and hopefully I'll be able to get a decent number of boxes that will allow me to sort of spread the weight out and actually start to organise, and then we'll see how those all go together later. Wish me luck. So I've dropped a good few quid on a series of stackable and non-stackable, lidded and non-lidded plastic boxes, and we'll take them back and actually see how many more I need to buy. Small car blue lives such a pampered life. Out in the rain again, sad times. Well, we're very slowly getting there with some of the boxes. I'm kind of really not that good at organising, so I'm probably going to end up pulling this apart like 50 million different times, but at the very least I can now sort of start to see the workbench. Haven't done anything with this, which admittedly I only rearranged for the first time yesterday, but I think stuff needs to go in boxes. I do have boxes of carburetor parts, complete carburetors, inlet manifolds. My toolbox, well, my main toolbox down there with actual tools in the right place, and all of my assorted blown plastic toolboxes, 240 impact wrenches and brake stuff there. But there is all of this crap, for want of a better word, that needs to find a space, a home, so that that can go back in here somewhere. So yeah, we're kind of getting there. The pegboard can at the very least go up here, and I might do that now so that I can then start emptying my assorted box of spanners and actually putting them somewhere. So here we are, end of day 2, and stuff is, in fairness, starting to look a little bit better organised. So got my welder there, all of my clamps for metal work, I've got a box of bodywork stuff, assorted metalworking tools. Kind of need to go through that a little bit more, but again, another day. Drill bits, like I said earlier, all the associated blown plastic boxes there, main toolboxes there, jacks and jack stands all up under there, random bits of spare metal, random parts for the red Fiat, angle grinder and assorted electrical tools. Yeah, excuse the bench being a bit of a work in progress. The pegboard that was previously very unusable over there is now over here and considerably more usable. And now the ladder's gone, I can just hang things that need to be hung from the roof, the ceiling, joists, whatever. My wife will tell me off for calling that a roof. It's just, spanners, again, metric and imperial, kind of all mixed up at the moment, but it will be there. Blast cabinet is actually nice and usable, so I'm moving the bench vise not exactly to there, but that side of the bench, so that I can then open the cabinet door, but I can quite easily stand in here. The Y block, which is obviously not a permanent fixture in the garage, because one day I hope it will get back into the car, is there, and I can get round all of the sides to get to shoebox Ford parts, get to Fiat parts. I've put a load of the stuff in a box over here, so Fiat red, small as in small parts, not a small car. All of my oils, paints are still over there. Random shelf up the top with the dashboard, and the bumpers are kind of still there. If anyone has an old Mitsubishi station wagon, you can come and buy those off me. They're like lights for it, quite difficult to get hold of. I can still get to the door, I can still use the door, and most importantly I still have the firing order for the V8 Y block engraved on the door, and what are probably the valve clearances, though I honestly can't remember what it was that I wrote on there. And the rest of the garage is currently a pile of boxes to go to the tip, which will go into rubble bags, a pile of crap on the floor to go into a bag, a pile of as yet unused boxes, which again, when my missus comes in and takes one look at the organisation I've done and shows me how to do it like 50 million times better, those will probably be used. And I need to find a place to put the glass. I'm probably going to slide it down there because it's not going to get hurt there. And yeah, well, there we are. So hopefully next time on day 3, all of that stuff will be gone, and we'll be able to get the car back in here, and I'll be able to show how absolutely like chilled out I feel in my workspace, which should, I mean, the front of the car can't come past here because that's in the way. So if that's where the front of the car is, it gives me actually quite a nice little bit of space to move about here that I never had before. I am going to have to hold my breath, shall we say, to get down the side, because I think it's very much going to be a push the car in and push the car out, because I don't think the doors are going to open far enough to let me in. But then again, I suppose that's what you got. Okay, so end of day 3, and finally it is as close to finished as it's ever going to be. And yeah, okay, just pretend that's not there, and pretend that's not there. Other than that, it is finished, and I have a decent amount of space, and I'm now going to shove the car in. Now I've got this little oil drip mat down on the floor there, and by the magic of editing, it's now in quite close there, could probably have done with putting it a bit closer to the wall there, because I can't really get too much stuff there, but that's just an alignment issue. But we've still got loads of space around here, and if I jump over here, and obviously shut the garage door, which is nice, and get to my welder without having to pull the car out, can get the car out without having to pull the welder out, which is basically the entire reason why I did this, because I was a little bit annoyed by having to pull stuff out to get to anything else. So for the minute I'll just take a little jump over there. But whereas before this was butted right up against the engine, making the engine difficult to work on, again without pushing the car out of the way, it's all just so much tidier than it was. So I will be doing some just of the finishing sort of touches to that, and hopefully future videos will now be shot in an area that is at least much nicer to work in. Okay, so I was recording this on about 4 o'clock on New Year's Eve, so I'm not going to be spending my time tonight editing it, but it will be the first thing that comes out in 2023. So although it's been shot a bit piecemeal, and I'm not sure how well it's going to have edited together, you can let me know whether you think I did an absolutely shoddy job of editing it together, which to be fair I probably will have done, and drop me some comments. And whenever you're watching this, I hope you have had a really good end to 2022, and I hope you all are looking forward to an excellent 2023. I know I certainly am. I've got a nice new workspace, I've got one functioning car, I've got another car that is on the way to being finished. Hopefully we'll get that done, and that will be ready for Ben to roll about in the summer, and I'll be able to get back to work on the Shoebox Ford. Drop us a like, drop us a subscribe. That would be brilliant. See if we can push towards the magic 1,000 subscribers over the course of this year. And yeah, take care, enjoy your project.